You are about to witness history in the making.
Hi guys, it's time of the year for the episode 32 and it's the Pop Culture Gamers. I'm Steve, your host for this evening, and Hayden, of course, alongside me. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, thanks, Steve.
Good, so I'm not in the best of moods tonight. Just don't feel right, but hey, I'm sure I'll cheer up during the show.
Is that too much of the eggnog already?
It is, actually, probably. And the Baileys.
Oh, I need a bit of Baileys. I like a bit of Baileys.
Yeah. Anyway, just a bit of housekeeping, just to remind you about voting for the Christmas podcast, of course, with all the different game of the year and stuff. So if you can get those in by closing of Friday via Twitter and Facebook for us.
That's where the link is, on our Twitter feeds and in the Facebook group.
Yeah, thank you.
And can I just say, because I just remembered, some people might have been put off by voting because I'd actually done it to avoid people messing it up by having people, already being able to vote once. What I didn't realise was it was asking people's email addresses. We don't collect that anyway, but I've taken that off now so you can just go in. But please don't do silly voting and mess it up, because I can tell as well. So.
Okay, so that's the police bit for today then.
That's the police bit for today.
Also, we mustn't forget, if you've got any messages, send them in to podcast at popculturegamers.co.uk and Hayden will pick those up and put them in the show.
Yeah, indeed I will.
So, Merry Christmas.
Yes, ho, ho, ho.
Another week to go. Anyway, let's jump straight in, shall we? Because time is a-ticking. So, with Christmas is nearly upon us, what have I been up to? I've been pre-ordering my turkey. So I went into Sainsbury's. I was one day short of not getting it done, but you've got to get it done by the 16th in Sainsbury's. So I've ordered my turkey, paid a deposit for that. While I was in there, I went and bought a load of alcohol, as you do for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Just bought some spirits, wine and stuff, and I spent £100. Just like that,
That's a lot of money to spend.
Well, I don't know, but I didn't seem a lot for it.
But then again, you are having a house full, aren't you?
Yeah, but this is my drinks, not theirs. Because they all bring their own.
Okay.
So
second mortgage for the family then.
Oh God, yeah. No, because I got myself 3 bottles of red wine for me, and 3 rosé for the missus. Like I got some gin for her, and I got myself some Jack Daniels for me, really, and some mulled wine. So. Crazy, isn't it? It's just, price is ridiculous.
Oh, definitely. I'm quite glad actually, because I very rarely drink. My tipple is Diet Coke most of the time.
I know that, because I hear that most nights.
Yeah, I know, and it was about a year before you actually realised it was Diet Coke and not beer I was drinking online as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
was it you or Chris who said something once?
Yeah,
no, it's Diet Coke.
But I won't be drinking. Well, I'll have a bottle of wine and I'll have a Bucks Fizz in the morning. But Christmas Day, I'm on call, so that's my input for holiday call out. So after that, I'll be off until the 2nd. So at least I get about a week just without thinking about work. So doing Christmas Day does help.
Yeah.
For me, but yeah, it's a weird one. Anyway, so what we've been up to this week? So really, it's all been about Wednesday. For me, it took half a day because we were going to go and see a show. And so what we did was we thought we'd pop into town early and see the Christmas lights in the Winter Gardens.
Was that the one where you put your Facebook picture up?
Yeah, that tree's got 1 million lights on it. Unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, so what? Must be a big tree.
It is. It's very big. And obviously there's a big archway that you go through it.
Do you know what I want to know, though? Who counted them?
Well, the manufacturer.
Because it must have taken a year to count them.
I don't know how that happened.
Can you imagine if one of those bulbs was loose? Jesus, that's going to take a while.
Well, there'd be a pixel drop, wouldn't there, when they're doing those sort of nice picture things they were doing with the Christmas tunes in the background.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. Went down to see that, and then went for a meal after that, and then obviously went to see Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, the 40th anniversary, and well, I had a blinding time with that.
And did you take the other half to this?
Yes, I did. Yeah. She came as well.
I mean, I think you're lucky that she'll actually go and see stuff like that with you. Because if I turned around to my wife and said, "I want to go and see that," she'd go and say, "Well, who are you going with? Because it's not me."
No, well, she went last time as well, and thoroughly enjoyed it the first time. So as the show was slightly different, it wasn't like it was exactly the same show, even though the music was to a certain degree.
Mm.
I mean, out was Richard Burton, and then in was Liam Neeson. And the special effects, of course, were a bit bigger as well. But Liam Neeson being a hologram, wandering around on stage, was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really clever how they did that. Because what they had is, you had a 60-piece orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a band on the other side. And then they all walking in the middle of it. And then what you had two, like, Victorian street lamps. And when Liam Neeson was going to be on stage, this, like, plexiglass would come out of the stage in between the two lamps. And his hologram would be projected onto that.
Right. Okay.
As well as being two images right and left of the main auditorium as well, when he was like sitting at his desk, you see his whole face where he's talking.
Right. So is it like it's a 2D image, presumably?
Yeah, I suppose it looks 3D though from a distance.
Right.
Because he's if he does a 360 turn, you'll see his whole body.
Hmm.
And also with that, there's a like a screen in the background which is like 99 minutes of CGI footage that goes with the show as well.
Right.
Which obviously he's in that part of it as well, And then you've got the fighter machine when that comes out of the sky and lands on the stage. There's like flames coming out of it for the heat ray, and then there was flames on stage for that part of the show when they come out of the pod at Horsell Common. I know probably what I'm saying is probably doesn't mean a lot to many unless you know what I'm talking about, but no, it was fantastic. And to top it off, I got my program. I got a signed copy as well from Jeff Wayne, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did see that, and I thought, you'll be as chuffed as anything having got that, because I know that's what you were wanting.
I really did, and I mean, I always buy the program anyway. But we actually went in early because we went to Nando's for some dinner, and they come out pretty quick anyway. So we might as well go inside. We're going to have a sit down and have a beer and that. Yeah. And I went straight to the merch store and just saw them on the wall. And I did no hesitation. I didn't even ask how much. I said, "Can I have a signed program, please?" Because apparently a bit later, when people were coming in their droves, they were flying off the shelves, and there's only a certain amount they've got anyway. Mm. So I don't know how many the guy said there was like 10 or 15 there when he was trying to get one, and he was trying to get his hand up to get one, but he didn't get one. So
are they expensive?
No, the programs are normally £15.
Yeah.
And then 30 signed.
Oh, well, that's not too bad, is it?
No, I mean, it's cheaper than going for a meet and greet at like one of the conventions these days, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even for not very popular actors in series, so you're still looking at 20-25 quid for an autograph, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. And what's nice, he also puts in some of the parts of the... he has a quote next to his name as well from the show.
Yeah.
So something that Liam Neeson would have said or whatever, and that gets rewrote that as well. So I just put it into one of my album cover sleeves. I've got like these clear polythene sleeves, and that's up on my wall and on my display with the rest of the albums I've got. So that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, sounds like a good thing.
Anything else I've been up to? I don't know, really. Just getting ready for Christmas. Got all the presents. They're all sorted out to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I've got some vinyl coming over between now and Christmas Day.
Well, what a surprise, eh?
Yeah, I got 5. There's a couple that I've been hunting for, and they're all on their way now. They've all been dispatched, and they're in different parts of the world, not at the same time. So I've got one in the UK at the minute that's with the post office. I've got about 3 of them are in flight and some are in transit. So it's really weird. They're all coming from same part of the world. It's all from Texas. But I went to go for an extra one. I saw it for $25. So and I don't have the album. I've got the sequel to Beverly Hills Cop.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't have the original album, even though I had some of the singles on 12-inch.
Did you get? Oh, I can't remember which. Was it Iron Man theme tune?
No,
did you get that?
No, I didn't in the end. No, because there was other bits and pieces that I wanted, including this one, which is Banana Yellow. And if you understand Beverly Hills Cop, you know the joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the first one to arrive will be Batman, Danny Elfman. So from Mondo, hopefully that will be here. Hopefully maybe tomorrow. It touched down a couple of days ago in the UK and it's now in transit. Didn't tell me about any sort of import taxes. So I'm hoping I've missed them ones. See, if I bought 4 or 5 in one batch, then they would have weighed something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So in one way, even though I'm using 2 different companies, one's Waxworks and one's Mondo, when they come through individually, they normally come through pretty much safe. But we'll see how that goes. But anyway, how about yourself? What you been up to this week?
Well, I mean, not an awful lot, really. We had our Christmas party, which was good fun. We went to a local pub in Northallerton called The Standard, which I always thought looked a bit rough, to be quite honest, but it was quite a nice meal from there as well. We had a Secret Santa, and whoever it was who got my Secret Santa knew me well because they got me a Star Wars mug that when you heats up has the lightsabers coming up.
Oh, that's the same one I've got, well, funnily enough.
Yeah. So that was quite nice. After our conversation last week, I had a go at Plex.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had problems with it. For a start off, it was completely getting stuck on my firewall. And no matter how much I did, unless I physically disabled the firewall, as in completely switched it off, it wouldn't go through. I tried opening the ports, I tried adding Plex as a list, on the white list, and all of that sort of stuff that you're supposed to do.
So you took it off the naughty list and put it on the good list.
Yeah, so that, it was okay to let stuff through, but just wasn't working unless that firewall was off, which is really weird. But also, the other thing that I found out is Plex doesn't manage DRM. So what I wanted it mainly for was to be able to do all of the iTunes movies that have, that they've since upscaled to 4K.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was to be able to stream those to my TV.
Did you actually pull them physically off onto your PC originally then?
Yeah, they're physically pulled off onto my PC, and they don't work because they've got DRM. And also, I hate
Apple. I really hate Apple. Sorry, they're just they're twats, aren't they? Lockdown.
Well, you buy movies from other places and it's got DRM. Like, for example, Ultraviolet. Yeah. Ultraviolet evidently doesn't work with Plex.
Did you look on any support pages for it to see what they said about it? I had a look at
a few pages, and they were saying about, people saying, come on, it's about time it worked with Plex. And the pages that I was looking at saying that it doesn't work. So unless anybody's got it working, pretty much means that Plex is useless to us.
Well, I heard that the music will work with iTunes, though.
Oh, with iTunes. Do you mean with Plex?
Plex, sorry. Yeah, I heard that works.
Yeah, the music will work, but then I still have to switch my firewall off.
Oh, right.
So pretty pointless because I don't want to risk my PC for the use of Plex, basically. So I've just binned it because it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. If anybody knows ways around it, let us know because, like I said, I just hit problem. Did you
open every port you could?
Well, I opened up the port that it wanted.
Did you try others
which is
as well?
32,400. That was open. I added the program to the allowed traffic in and out, but it just wasn't doing it.
Yeah. Have to look into that then.
Yeah, but if you want in your Ultraviolet collection going, because you were talking about that, if you can figure it out, but I had a look. Granted, I didn't spend hours with it because by then I was getting dischuffed with it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've just sort of like pulled out. I mean, in terms of it, you know, you can plug in your hard drive into the back of your TV and play stuff anyway. I know that the idea is you can have one hard drive attached to your computer and see it anywhere in the house, but
yeah,
you know,
I'll have to see. There's some other people that've had it. I mean, if anyone gets back to you on it, and
yeah, if anybody does know the answers to these particular issues, just send us a message at podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk.
Yeah, because I just typed in Plex and Ultraviolet, that came top of the page.
Yeah, so did I. But it was saying people, you know, it was it a Reddit or whatever with people saying, "Come on, when are we getting the support for this?" And there was an answer there that said Ultraviolet's DRM and Plex isn't allowed to handle DRM.
Yeah, by definition, Ultraviolet is a cyber locker to control the manner in which you use their content. I suspect Plex will be the last place I would like to plug it in, blah, blah, blah. You know. Also, there is a support document as well, on the sort of the second page down on the forums, saying why don't videos from iTunes and Amazon, etc. play?
Yeah.
So I'll read up on that later. So, as we were talking on the background, you probably need my hard drive then.
Probably do, to be honest, to watch any of the movies. Yeah, so that was that.
Okay.
Also, taking your advice on the motion blur settings.
Yeah, how'd you get on with that?
Fantastic. It's completely revolutionised Blu-ray playback for 2K for upscaling, because I don't know what it's been, but when I've been, you know, playing DVDs, it's had this pixelated effect. I mean, if you were sat a further distance away from the TV, you wouldn't have noticed it if you were like 6 feet away or something. But because I'm like 3 feet away, I noticed the difference.
Yeah.
And now with turning off all of that rubbish that they have on, it does actually make a difference. Certainly for, you know, I get better upscaling on my, you know, HD movies now, which is, you know, really, really good. I haven't tried it with Mission Impossible, but I dare say that'll look a lot better.
No, yeah, because that's what it all boiled down to, wasn't it? That's what they were on about.
Yeah.
When Tom Cruise was chatting about it on the set of the Top Gun movie.
Yeah. And I've been trying out Star Trek Discovery Season 1 on Blu-ray. Looks great. Really does look great. It looks better than when it was streamed. Have
you can you do them both in the same place and switch between the two? Have you tried doing that?
I haven't tried doing that, but I mean, I did send you a couple of pictures of the screen, didn't I?
Yeah, I saw one of them. Yeah. I wasn't sure how good that. I couldn't. Whether it was the camera shot, it seemed a bit odd, but
well, it was head on, so it had the reflection on the screen, but you know, it was just to give you a flavour of it anyway.
Yeah.
So but I've been quite enjoying watching Star Trek Discovery as well. Last thing for me, I was quite fortunate this week, is in that I picked up Hitman 2 while Argos had a bit of a misprice on it. This evidently only lasted for a few hours, but they had it for $19.99 on the store.
Oh, okay. And that's the latest one, is it?
That's the latest one, and it's gone back up to about 35-40 quid. So, ka-ching.
Well, as long as you're going to play it, obviously.
I have been playing it, yeah, and I've been really quite enjoying it, actually.
Yeah, I fell out of love with Hitman.
Well, I mean, did you play Hitman, the game released the other year, but it was done in segments?
No, I didn't. No.
Right. Well, you want to. Well, actually, get Hitman 2, because then you can get the Legacy Pack and you can get all of Hitman 1, as it were. But I've got Hitman 1 on, I think, all the major platforms, to be quite honest with you. That is not my phone that time.
It's not mine.
Definitely not my. Mine's off. So, anyway, Hitman, you can get the Legacy Pack, so as the story carries on from Hitman 1, literally straight after, a bit like the way Quantum of Solace followed on from, Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Then, it's well worth getting a legacy pack with it, so you don't actually need to buy both games. You can just do it that way. It plays absolutely superb, really good. I mean, but I'll talk about it later on anyway. So, and also, I've been playing a PSVR game.
Yes, I guess what that one. That was
yes, you did, but don't ruin my crescendo.
No, I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to say a dink about it.
No, and I'll talk about that later on as well.
Because I haven't got it yet, and I've got questions about it. So
yeah, well, we'll talk about it when we do gaming then, shall we?
You done?
I'm done.
Okay, right, let's go on to some gaming this week.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
Okay, let's look at some news. Hayden, what have you got for us this week?
In news-wise, about, I don't know whether or not you've heard about a Twitch streamer, evidently from Australia, was arrested following a domestic incident which was caught live on the person's Twitch stream.
Okay.
They were playing Fortnite when a woman off screen said something to them. They asked to wait, and they'd be out in a second. The woman then threw something at him. And the video shows him saying like he'd be out soon. Then he rushes out, and the sounds indicate that the Twitch streamer had hit this woman off screen, and there also appears to have been a child present as well. There's been like interviews, online as well. You can see all of this, but I'm not going to mention who it is. Evidently, the woman was reportedly to have been unhurt, but quite distressed by it all. So, at least that. But there's Twitch streamers going along saying, this has never happened before, it'll never happen again, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, as if, when these things happen, nobody's ever thought of that excuse before now. But evidently, this is one of the things with Twitch streams nowadays, is you're seeing more and more violent things being caught live on camera, as it were. So earlier this year, there was the laser sights that was caught on one of the gamers in the Madden tournament, just, seconds before the gunman fired it in the Jacksonville, Florida incident. So, it's like live is, streaming's bringing in a whole new world, really. Okay. It was just really to just, say about that, because I just thought it was an interesting kind of story. I mean, domestic violence, never good either way. And to be honest, by everything that seems to have appeared, I think it's sort of like domestic violence on both sides, because chucking anything at somebody's never a good thing, especially in front of children. But there you go.
I've got a bit of news, but if we go through yours first, and I'll bring my one in afterwards. All
right. Here's a PC one. So Epic Games, if you download their client, then you can, from now until the 27th of December, get Subnautica for free, which is their new game that's just out.
Oh, okay.
So that's a free download for you to do. And I don't think it's time limited. I think it's yours for free, period.
Yeah, as soon as you've got it. DRM's yours, is it?
Yeah, it's not like the, free weekends. I think that this is permanently yours.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, very cool. And another thing about more rights for game industry workers as well.
Yeah, I read a little article where someone decided to sort of come free about it. Didn't obviously say who he worked for.
Yeah.
But I think this is just the general consensus. This happens everywhere by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so the game industry is basically, as we know, up there with movies and music, as massive businesses. But there are a lot of poorly paid and insecure jobs with people on 0-hour contracts, and people who have to do masses of unpaid overtime, especially near the launch of products. Now, the trade union, Independent Workers of Great Britain, is opening a branch specifically for the games industry, and it's believed to be one of the first unions to represent game workers in the world. So, anybody who's in the game industry and you haven't got a union, now you have.
Yeah, I think they all should need that, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, unions do provide you with protection. We're not. I think unions went through a period of being, a bad thing when it was right, okay, everybody out sort of thing, because somebody dropped a toilet roll down the toilet or whatever, and it was enough to get people, like on the Carry On Behind movies, that sort of approach to life. But generally speaking, unions are there for your protection.
Absolutely. Excuse me.
So that's my news. So what's yours?
So, do you have an Amazon Fire Stick?
No.
Okay. Well, if you do, you can play Sonic on your TV.
And how can you do that?
So, Amazon have joined the nostalgic wave of that swept the nation this Christmas with these classic machines we've been seeing, especially with the PlayStation's the last one.
Yeah.
Well, now you can play Sega classic games on your Amazon Fire TV. 25 classic games are now open to play as of today, including Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage games.
Is that for free?
It doesn't say you pay for it. It says to play, all you need to do is have a Fire TV remote and also pair your compatible Bluetooth controller to get playing. So if anyone's got that, well, it might be worth having a look at that and see what that's all about.
Yeah.
Here you go. So Sega, there you go. Here's the price. What do you reckon? Sega Classics is available now on Fire TV for how much? For 25 games.
For 25 games, £10.
$11.99.
That's not too bad, though.
Considering you remember you had the Sega Mega Drive console that came out. Do you remember?
I do, yeah.
Which was a bit poorly made, to be honest. But yeah, that's not bad at all.
I have to admit, I've been eyeing up that's on Amazon a Raspberry Pi case that's the same shape as a Mega Drive.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You have to send me a link for that.
Stick all your retro games on it.
Yeah, so I'll give you a list of the games here. You've got Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic CD, Revenge of Shinobi, Ristar, Golden Axe, Beyond Oasis, Decap Attack, Eastwatch, City Under Siege, Street of Rage 1, 2, 3, Gunstar Heroes, Dynamite Heady, Dr. Robotnik, Mean Bean Machine. We've got Columns, Biohazard Bottle, Comic Zone, Alien Storm, Bonanza Bros, Golden Axe 2 and 3, Game Ground, Alter Beast, and Sonic Spinball. So, there you go.
Very cool.
Right. So, we'll bump straight into new releases.
Yep.
Do you want to fire that off?
Okay. So, we've got Anima Gate of Memories Arcade Edition on the Switch from the 20th. Also from the 20th, we've got Gingerboard the Crystal, again on the Switch. Third game out on the Switch on the 21st is Fitness Boxing. And then the last game released this year, presumably, is a PC game, and it's MMA Team Manager.
That's a bit cryptic, isn't it? Okay, video game charts. So, at 5, we've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 4 at 4, we've got Battlefield 5. We have from 1 down to 3, we have FIFA 19. 2 at 2, we got Red Dead Redemption 2. And in at number 1, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Nintendo.
I'm actually quite surprised because my son doesn't want that. She said, I've already got a Super Smash Brothers game. Sort of like, yeah, and?
But this has got new characters.
It's sort of like, I was dumbfounded because I was thought, that'll be a surefire one that he'll want for Christmas. But nope, evidently not.
So what are you about, just off the side there, so what are you getting for Christmas this year?
A smartwatch.
Oh, okay.
But not like a Apple Watch or anything like that. It's just one of these.
It's a third party one, yeah?
Yeah. But it'll work with his iPhone. But it has Facebook and all of that. Not that he has Facebook at the moment, but that was his specifications. And I showed him the ones, and he said, "Oh, I want that one." So what I've done is found one with lots and lots of like little functions on it
Hmm.
that, you know, he can mess around with, sort of thing. So, and sync up to his phone.
Oh, that'd be quite interesting. We can probably enjoy that.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. So
Yeah.
he's getting that. He's already had one of his presents, which was his PC. So,
Oh, okay.
because he's live streaming now. And evidently, and I don't get this, right? Get this. He's live streaming a DVD screensaver. Because
What?
evidently, these are all the rage, and the rage is to guess how many times it'll go into the corner of the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, do you know what?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, my son's sort of like got, how many? He had today, when he first started doing this, 24 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you can tell, he's like super popular. How many do you think that he got within a couple of hours of doing this?
100?
No, not that much. No, but he still managed to get 8 subscribers in like within about 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. So just old DVD screensavers. Is this just ridiculous?
Yeah, you know the one where it has a DVD logo bouncing about the screen.
Yeah, I got that. Well, I've got that for my player as well. My player will do it if nothing's playing on it and it's just left to do its own devices.
Yeah, but he
Whatever.
had people in the chat talking to him and stuff like that as well. I mean, obviously we were keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, this sort. I mean, if he's gonna, well, depends if it's a niche market, I suppose.
Yeah, I really don't get it at all. You know, if I wanted to watch a screensaver, I'd just switch my DVD player on and not actually do it. You know, not actually do anything with it. But
Okay.
it's a weird world. It's a weird world.
This world's bad enough as it is with a lot of things, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose people watching around a bouncing screensaver.
Yeah.
Evidently, one of the people who's like doing it, he's evidently got something like 100,000 subscribers, and he does similar videos himself. So like really weird stuff that people are getting into on YouTube. I mean, it must be kids, because let's face it, an adult would never have thought of doing anything like that, would they?
Yeah. Well, if you can think of something you could do,
Well,
do you know what I mean? I do my soundtracks now. I need to probably put some more on, but I haven't had the time to do it yet because I just do certain ones. But anything's for niche market and people like it, I suppose.
Well, I was thinking just, painting a bit of wall and then putting a camera on that, because, his videos like watching paint dry, so you might actually watch paint dry. And plus the fact it'd be more fun than watching an English cricket match because you get more runs. Bum, bum, bum.
So they say. I wouldn't know that.
Neither would I, because I don't watch cricket, to be fair. That doesn't interest me in the slightest.
Okay. Anyway, should we, we'll go to gaming this week then.
Yeah, got it.
Sync?
And you always leave that, but we already are in gaming this week.
We can edit it out.
I'll edit that out, so it'll just have this bit of us talking and people be going, but there wasn't a gap. There was. He left about a 30-second gap there.
Because actually, we should actually change it, because actually we've got gaming news then gaming this week, so actually we should actually change it, personally. That's my
Well, it's all part of gaming this week, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's news and gaming's two slightly different things. But what do I know?
Yeah, you've only done 32 of these episodes now.
Yeah, and God knows how many of some other one, Okay, so unfortunately, my gaming's been a bit quiet this week, and really all I've been playing is Destiny. I know the groans, I can hear them all over the place, but
some of them coming from this side as well.
well, before I go into that, I'll just have a little quick chat about Forza Horizon's Fortune Island.
Yep.
So I turned it on, did the download the other day, and I just literally had probably 10 minutes on it.
Yeah.
And in 10 minutes, I made 1 million credits.
How?
How did I do that? Well, so they said the introduction was pretty cool because Fortune Island has really bad weather, so you could be driving there and trees get hit by lightning and they can fall in front of you.
Oh, I know. It's these treasure chests, isn't it?
Yes. So it came up and said, there's this treasure chest. Here's a clue, and then you got to hunt for it. So I found this chest not far from the festival starting point. Drove into it, 1 million credits. Thank you very much. And there's about 5 or 6 of these, maybe more, I think, scattered around the island.
Okay.
So if anyone's a bit short on dough, well, I'm not. I've got 3.5 million at the minute now.
So presumably this is like a combination of the notice boards and the garages from the normal version of the game.
Yeah.
Sort of like something that you have to hunt for. It's a little bit more special than the signpost, but
Oh God, yeah.
yeah.
But to be honest, though, I think it's Forza still. You're going to have the same sort of idea and setup with the other games. It's all very similar sort of stuff to do. But I'll have a little look later. I'll try and get back on it. But yeah, it looks great.
I have to admit, I've been playing a bit of Forza on the PC as well. Just quite enjoying playing games in the ultra widescreen. I know that the screen's nowhere near as big as my TV, but
yeah,
it's quite nice.
Yeah, I mean it's a lovely looking game, remember, and yeah, it's one of the games of the year, to be honest.
Yeah,
because there's not too many driving games that are out there that are in that sort of bracket, to be honest.
No, that's very true. You've only got like Project Cars 2,
Gran Turismo, so
Dirt.
Yeah, and some of those don't really come close, to be honest.
No, definitely not.
But I wouldn't knock Gran Turismo because that's pretty good. I must admit, I haven't played it for donkeys, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had the PlayStation on for quite a while, to be honest.
Yeah, you'll probably need to put on about 12 system updates, won't you? Any more time since the last time you had that on?
Well, mine's on sleep mode, so it's probably done it in the background, hopefully.
Sleep mode? My God. So you're running it at an expensive way of doing it as well.
Yeah.
I'd get that brown light off. Do you know what? Why did they put a brown light on?
I know.
Any other colour but brown. I mean, seriously.
That's the 70s, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like early 70s as well. If they're going to do a brown light, they should have given it a tarp cover.
I don't know if I've still got time, and I might well do this. I'm not too sure yet. But they've got a 60% sale on at the minute.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man is $29.99, I think.
Do it.
That's not the biggest one. Obviously, I'm not interested in the DLC if I go for it. It's just the main game.
Yeah, to be honest, I would just go for the main game because I got the DLC. Wasn't that fussed?
It's nothing much, is it, to be honest?
No. But the main game is really good. I would definitely get Spider-Man. Seriously. I think you'll enjoy it. I did have a go at the Spider-Man VR thing finally.
Oh,
on the PlayStation. I thought it was really short.
It is an experience. That's about all you can call it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, in terms of it, just from a visual sense, that first bit where you zoom up onto that crane, the first time I played through it, I thought, whoa. Just a little bit, just for a second.
Yeah.
Because I don't like heights. And so it just...
Oh, don't you?
No, I hate heights. I get vertigo. So I was standing on the edge of this crane and I looked down at my feet. I thought, I feel sick. And I thought, I'm standing in my living room. I thought, if I fall down, I'll just fall down flat. I won't be falling down feet, and that. So after that, after that, like, quarter of a second sort of thing, I was all right. But to be honest, they could have done just a little bit of the swinging about more than they did.
Yeah.
Because you only get to do one swing, and that's not with both hands. It's just like, when you swing off the crane, and then you start swooping down into the road, and then it stops, and that's the end of the demo. They should have had you going down a few streets just so you could have got that kind of effect. So, but it was all right. But I played it twice and then it's gone off. That's it, done. And I doubt I'll be loading that again.
No, I've got Batman VR to play, I must admit.
That is a good game, actually. To be fair, for an early VR game, I did enjoy that.
But still my favourite one so far is the latest one.
The Astrobot.
Yeah, it's amazing that it looks.
I do want to play that, but I haven't played it yet.
There is a demo for it as well on the store.
Have you tried Resi yet?
Yes, I've started playing that.
In VR?
Yes, in VR.
And
Well, I've only got the first. I went into that room where you got to sort of do the test to see how you work in the controller.
yeah,
But I need to. There was someone. Probably you have to remind me. But there's some option to turn off to make how you use your controller.
right.
But I just did the first bit and got into the house, and that was freaky as hell. To be honest, that really was. But I would like to give it a go at some point.
Right.
It's. But I will put it on easy. To be honest, because
Yeah.
there's no need to make it hard work when it's in VR.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, so been playing Destiny.
Yes.
So this week I completed my first Forge run in Black Armory, and that took a while. I was trying to do it at 600 and 610, and I couldn't get to the end of the Forge because what you've got, you have two waves of you have your first wave of enemies, and then you've got the ones that are very sort of sparkly blue. You have to kill those ones to grab the orbs, and you've got to launch the orbs onto the Forge. You've got to do 20 of them within a certain time limit.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, you have a second shot at doing that. And then if you get through the second one, then you have a big boss to kill, which you've got to get done within the time limit as well. And second attempt, we were literally, the first attempt, we were like seconds off getting it. We were just short of a slither of his health bar. But when we went round for the second run, got the drop and got my hammerhead machine gun and got that at 625, which is, thank you very much, ideal. Before I talk about the Dawning quickly, there's so much to this we call it DLC, this update that they have with the Forge and the Black Armory. Because after you've got the gun, I haven't looked into it yet, but you can when you bring the sight up to your face, you can see certain symbols around the Forge, and they're only there when you've got the sight up. And apparently, you've got to do certain things to get to do something else to get bits of gear and stuff and quests and exotics and whatever.
Right.
So that'd be worth looking into at some point.
Yeah.
But I've got to because what they've got a second Forge up as well. So there are going to be more than one Forge you can go to on different planets.
Mm.
And obviously, now I've opened up the Forge, I can start doing the bounties, so I can then get the other types of weapon frames to go for different versions of weapons that they've got in that list. That's pretty cool.
Mm.
The Dawning, which started Tuesday. Do you remember it from last time?
It's the Christmas celebration, isn't it, basically?
That's it. This one's a little bit different. So this would be on till very early January. So you've got to go to the tower to see Eva Levante. And what she'll give you is a oven for baking cookies. And once you've got that, there's a quest opens up for an exotic one of the
oven glove.
Oven glove, yeah. No,
I know what it is. It'd be for an exotic tea towel for a Titan, won't it?
Yeah. Bless them, they love their tea towels. No, it's one of the speedo bikes, yeah?
Right, okay.
And
this is the one that looks like a Christmas sleigh, isn't it?
That's it. And when you do tricks with it, when you get to do tricks and set it up, there's a bag of glimmer that sits in the back. Apparently, you can then do certain tricks. It all falls out and people can collect the glimmer.
That's not much good if it's your glimmer, though.
Well, glimmer's free. There's so much glimmer to get these days in this game anyway. But just a little tweak in it. But the main thing is, you get given this oven. So as you're playing the game, you will collect ingredients from killing different enemies and how you do that. And there's 3 parts to the cookie, for example. So there's one part which will have something like cobalt oil. Then another one will have another ingredient, and then you have the Dawning ingredients onto that, and it will then bring up a cookie as such that you've got to deliver to an NPC. And when you pass it on to one, for example, the one to do at the moment is Zer, because Zer's not around all week. He will then give you a drop. It could be a blue, it could be a purple. I've not seen an exotic yet. And some of the other characters will give you other bits and pieces as well. And there's 12 recipes to find. And once you've got all 12 recipes, then you masterwork your oven as well. So I've since I've masterworked it, I haven't actually gone down to the recipes. I've just been collecting the stuff as it build up. So I'll probably go to one of the NPCs and then just bake a load of stuff and see what drops I get off them. So it's very different.
Yeah.
But it's that that's what Destiny does for these little freebie events. So, and there's some sweet armor to pick up as well for the Dawning, which I've bought 2 pieces today as well. So yeah, we'll see. It's a bit of a different type of DLC. The Black Armour is more of an end game activity, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But we have got from Tuesday that update's going to give us the people that are a bit behind on the old power levels. So from Tuesday, you'll be able to get better drops to improve your power boost.
So don't bother playing it until Tuesday, then, basically.
Well, that won't make a difference to you, will it? Because you don't even play it full stop.
No, because I've got disenchanted with it.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's really enjoying it. Just having a blast. Been playing with a couple of the guys, you know. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fun to do it.
I saw you playing with Jed the other day.
Yeah.
Playing online, I don't mean that you were playing with
Yeah. Yeah, so we were going through a few bits and pieces because there's a mystery box you find in the first forge.
Yeah.
And it's an exotic quest. But it's one of those quests which will be broken down into a week after week. So you can get the first bit done and then the second bit. You know, we've had a few of those before in the past. But there's one quest I'm on at the minute which I'm really peeved about. And I'm doing the Malfeasance quest, which is the exotic hand cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, I'm on one part of the quest where you've got to collect the motes in Gambit. But every time you die and you've got any motes on you, it minuses off. So I was up to 78% on this, and then I went down to 48, where I had a real bad run where people I was getting shot all and sundry. It was like everyone was after me. I'd suddenly pick 15 up, going back to the place to deposit them, and then there'd be a guy from the other team going through the time vortex into ours area, and he'd shoot me, and I'd just drop 15 of them.
Right.
And it just put me back even further. But I'm trying not to worry about it, and it'll happen when it'll happen. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
If you get a bit too obsessed with it, you'll be just climbing the walls over it, over trying to sort that quest out. So, but yeah, no. Loving Destiny. I've got loads of games to play, and I've got some brand new ones to play as well over Christmas. So hopefully I'll get to do them then.
Yeah, well,
We'll see.
I mean, well, some of these things are time exclusive, so aren't they? So
Yeah, but it's you know, I mean, the Dawning actually plays in conjunction with everything else you're playing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't matter where you go, what event you're on, or wherever you're doing it, you will drop all these ingredients anyway.
Yeah.
So that just happens as it happens. So all you got to do is make a note of what the ingredients are to make the different cakes. And I just looked online, had the list on my phone as I went, to be honest. So, but yeah, all good.
Oh, very good.
Anyway, it's enough about boring Destiny. What about yourself? You've been playing Hitman 2, yeah?
I have indeed. So, I mean, obviously, as I said before...
Thanks to Argus.
Thanks to Argus. Thank you, Argus, for having a price mix-up there. Well, it might not have been. It might have just been a time-limited thing. But that's one thing I love about hot UK deals. You quickly pick up on these things. So, the game itself, the story follows on exactly from the first one. And as I said before, if you haven't already played it, you can get the Legacy DLC pack. So it plays the whole game within. And not only that, for those of you who are achievement hunters, if you've already completed the first game, you can re-get gamer score for redoing the levels on the Legacy pack, which is quite cool. What I like about the Hitman games is the sandbox approach to killing everybody. I mean, it's not completely sandbox, but in terms of it, you have a lot of different options in order to follow. There are like stories within the mission to complete. So, for example, there's on the tutorial, because the tutorial is shared between Hitman 1 and 2. So it's exactly the same tutorial, because I think all they've done is change the game content and not the engine.
Right.
Which is fine, because the last one run really well anyway. But, there's like on one of them is a KGB agent that also, there's a story about showing certain slides to someone before they actually go off, and another thing about, giving people vodka and all this, that and the other type of stuff that you can do, which are like little hidden things. So when you're sneaking along, because you've got to go with stealth on this game, you can't just walk in with a machine gun because you'll die pretty much instantly.
Yeah, of course.
But if you want to play this, what you can do is sneak along, and then you'll be able to overhear a conversation, which will then pop up to say, do you want to track this? This part of what you can do as a mission. And it generally helps you towards hitting your target. I mean, obviously what you want to do is get the best kill that you possibly can. So, those kills would be, being as stealthy as possible, not raising any alerts or anything like that, and then getting out of there as quickly as possible.
Okay. I mean, I remember back in the day there are like 3 or 4 different ways of taking out your associate you want to take out.
Yeah, well, there are several different ways that you can do it on each level. So I think that there's something like about 7 or 8 ways, or 7 or 8 defined ways for taking people out on the second part of the tutorial, which you'd have to play several times in order to do it, which I have actually done, mastered all of those different ways. So one is like drowning the target in the toilet. The other one is blowing him up. The other one is strangling him by, your cord. Another one is to dress up as the person he's supposed to meet and then kill him. Another one is when you've killed him that you have to hide his body in a cupboard, cupboard, or a box. So there's all sorts of different things, and wearing specific uniforms or whatever. The game, just like the previous ones, and Absolution as well, which was probably my favourite in all of the Hitman thing in terms of I just think it's my personal favourite story-wise. It has contracts in there as well, so you can create contracts and share them and that sort of thing, which is really good because that gives a bit of extra longevity to the game as well as the whole sandbox approach anyway. But there's a whole variety of different costumes and things like that you can do. You can do environmental accidents, in inverted commas. So, there's an awful lot to there. To the ways that you can kill people in the game. But, what frustrates me and I like about this game is that the game can go south like that. It's just one of those things with the nature of the game, because you might get yourself dressed up as a guard or, a member of crew on a boat or whatever. And what ends up happening is that there are certain people who will recognise you and will call for help and, start shooting at you and stuff like that. Or if you're found dressed in a certain way and you're in the wrong area, you'll get challenged, and, you can do a fake surrender and put your hands up and all of that sort of thing as well. But what you want to do is aim for the perfect kill where it looks like it's a natural accident. You hide not necessarily even hide the body, but you get in and out without people knowing that you've actually killed anyone, and also that you don't kill innocent people. The other good thing about this game as well is that there's a new sniper challenge mode on it as well. So if you remember where in the, I think it was Absolution, they had a sniper challenge, but that was if you pre-ordered the game, you got it for free. I think that was on the 360, if I remember rightly. You can still get it on the PC.
Yeah.
And I think you can actually now just get it generally anyway. But basically there are 3 targets that you've got to kill and about 12 guards as well on this level. And if you do a shot and you miss, or you blow something, if you blow something up, like for example, there's patio heaters with gas tanks. If you shoot at that, it'll blow it up, and then that will alert people, and people will start to flee, including the people that you're after.
Oh, okay.
So you want to kill people as quietly as possible, which is really quite difficult. And when you shoot them, what you want to do is do the shot so that it knocks them into the water, because then they'll sink, or shoot them into a bush so that they'll be hidden there. And then there are other things like ducks hidden for you to shoot on the premises and stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, I remember back in the day, some of them like you have to poison someone.
Oh yeah, you
know.
can do that. You find a rat poison and you can put it in there. That, in matter of fact, that's how you kill the guy in the toilet on the freeform kill mission on the second tutorial. Is that you poison his drink and then follow him into the toilet, and while he's hurling, you stick his head into his own puke and, you know, the toilet, and you just drown him there, then you stick him in the cupboard and then walk out. Or at least that's how I did it. You might want to do it another way, if you can think of another way. But yeah, so it's a good, you know, it's a good challenge. Can get frustrating though when you kind of know what you want to do, but you just can't figure out how to get past people. But there is the old coin tossing thing as well. So if you toss a coin or throw an object like a hammer or a spanner, then that will attract people's attention and someone will go over and look at it. So for example, where you've got to get dressed up to kill someone on one of the levels, you have to toss a few coins to get him out of sight of other people, and then you knock him out and then nick his clothes. And if you leave bodies lying around, they'll invariably get found. That's another thing. So you can't just go on. So
you're going to dump them. You're going to dump them into a washing basket or something like that. Yeah,
well, there are chests or cupboards that are empty. You know, it's amazing. You know, all of these places, they all have empty cupboards and chests. I wonder where they put the clothes. But you stick people in a cupboard. You know, and you can hide yourself in a cupboard if you want to. Talk about coming out the closet.
Oh.
So, you know, and that's one of the things that you can do in terms of, like, for example, the mission where you poison someone and drown them in the loo. If you know which toilet they're going to go for, you can go into that toilet after you've done the poison and then just wait in the closet until they come.
Yeah, I mean, it was a clever game. I don't know. What's it like graphically these days? How have they improved?
Oh, it's really good. Well, why don't you download the demo? Because the demo is 3 levels. Mm-hmm. You've got the one where you've got to do it in a prescribed way. You've then got the freeform mission, and then you've got another mission on another sort of like mocked up sort of military base. But you can download the demo free of charge and play that.
Yeah.
And then by the time you finish that, you'll know whether or not you want to play the rest of the game or not. Because that really teaches you everything that you need to know in how to play this as a game. Doesn't tell you your solution to every issue, but it tells you the skills you need in order to be able to get there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, cool.
But a lot of it is like pattern recognition and, you know, learning the maps and all of that sort of thing, and where stuff is, because you don't know where stuff is. You know, some missions you start off and you don't have anything because you've got to go in there and then find weapons in order to be able to kill your target.
Right.
But you can electrocute people, for example. You know, so what you could do is set it up so that the bathroom. Well, I mean, I don't think that this is actually in there, but I think it was in a previous game. That the bathroom was flooded and that you tampered with the light switch so that when somebody came into the bathroom and switched the light on, it electrocuted them. But there's certainly the ability to electrocute people in this game. Like, for example, on the sniper challenge, there was one where you could shoot this water barrel that was collecting water and a light near it, and then that would electrocute a guard.
Yeah, just funny. I remember one of the games where it started off where there was a woman in a shower. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
That was Absolution.
Oh, okay. And that was quite a while ago, that.
And it's still a really good game, is Absolution as well. That was on the 360. That was two games before this one.
Oh, okay.
And it still looks good now, especially on the PC, you know. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend, if you've liked them in the past, just have a look at the demo, download it. It doesn't cost you anything. And like I said, it is the first 3 levels. It's a tutorial of the game.
Yeah.
And then you'll know whether or not you're going to play it anymore. Or alternatively, just look for my live streams of it as well.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. Anything else you've been playing? Anything else?
I've been playing a few games, yeah. I've been playing Western Press. So this is a high-bit game that's on the Game Pass for Xbox One. And basically, it's based on the Old West, as in quick draws, But what you have to do is you have to go through a series of quick draws in order to win the game. And the quick draws are basically you completing a series of button presses and stick movements before the other person. So, like I said, you get 10 levels, and every 2 or 3 levels you have 2 rounds with a person. Most of the time you have 1 round, and it'll do a countdown. Then it'll come up with a long list of about 8 or 10 different movements. So it might be, X, Y, A, B, up, X, down, B, for example, something like that. And so you have to do those movements on the controller as quickly as possible, and then it kills the other person if you do it first. So that's the game. There's another mode as well where it'll show you a pattern of buttons to press, and then it's a bit like Simon Says, so you do dit, 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 and then it'll say, and if they get it as well, it'll go on to the next one, but there'll be an extra one there, and it just keeps growing until one of you gets it wrong, and then you lose.
Okay.
So, to be honest, quite boring, not worth playing at all. Like I said, the graphics, they're old 8-bit sort of style graphics, don't look very good. Just seems to me to be a bit of a pointless game. So
yeah, the name doesn't exactly grab you, does it?
No, not exactly. But that's it really. Next one is Doodle God Crime City rather. This is also known as Doodle Mafia on the PC, and it's a sequel to Doodle God, which I reviewed a long time ago, which is a matchmaking puzzle game. So you get several categories of resources that you've got to mix together. So, for example, if you mix a house and a house, you get a street. If you mix a street and a street, you'll get a city. If you mix money and a bar, you get beer, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And if you mix beer and a person, you'll get a drug. Do you know what I mean? So when you mix 2 things, you create another thing, which you can then mix with another thing to build yet another thing, as it were. And there's a sort of story mode where you've got to, develop things in terms of crime and stuff like that. It is quite puzzling at times because some of the links are quite cryptic, but quite logical still. It will take you several hours to work it all out because there are hundreds of combinations that you're required to do. I did one Kate, so it is possible. And if you like puzzle games, it's not too bad, but it's, you have to like this style of game particularly. Really, I don't quite mind this. I quite like working some of it out.
Yeah.
And that's it for that one, really. I can't really say much more about it than that. The next one, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh,
Blast
I
from
finished
the past.
this one.
I never did. So I went back to this because it's one of those things of I just dropped it and I went on to other things.
Yeah.
And I thought, I didn't want to play Origins and I didn't want to play Odyssey, but I thought I fancy a bit more of old school, and I really wasn't that in. I didn't feel like playing Syndicate, so I thought I'm going to have another look at Unity to see what it was like. So I went back to it, and I have to admit it played flawlessly because they've patched it all together. And I have to admit I've started back from scratch in terms of gameplay as well. So literally restarting the beginning of the game. And I think I'm going to continue playing it because I was actually quite enjoying it. So
yeah, I'm trying to remember much about it now. It's
set in Paris.
Right, that one. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
you know the one where it was disembodied tongues and eyes and hair talking to people allegedly.
Yes, that's right. In the very first 5 minutes when he was a child.
Yes, that's right. So I went through all of that bit, but before that, you also play another level where you get the screen and it shows you like about 9 or 10 different things that you can choose from, and I just chose the first one,
Yeah.
And then you play this completely unrelated story, then it goes into the old Aspergian, all of that sort of storyline. You know, it's sort of like setting up the thing, the story.
There was some DLC called Dead Kings.
Yes.
And I played that as well.
I haven't played that, but I did have it. So I've downloaded that as well. So I thought, right, okay, well, I'm coming up to the holidays. Haven't played this past sequence 4. And there's, I think, about 12 or 13 sequences. So I thought, well, it was the first Assassin's Creed game, AAA Assassin's Creed game, that I didn't complete.
Naughty.
Yeah. And I also didn't complete Syndicate. So I thought, well, let's go for Unity. To be fair, I did complete Assassin's Creed 3, even though I wasn't really that keen on it. I completed it 3 times. And I completed Black Flag twice.
I really like Unity.
Yeah, I found it difficult to get on with, but after playing it this time, I didn't. And I don't know whether or not I'm just more in the mode for Assassin's Creed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, maybe you got that bug for it.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed playing that storyline.
Yeah, and Paris looks beautifully rendered in the game.
Oh, it does. If I remember rightly, that's too many spoilers. There is a part where you go back into a different timeline as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I got up to the bit where you're climbing up the Eiffel Tower, which is completely out of the timeline of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so that like I said, I've started from scratch. Absolutely started from scratch in this. But what I was thinking was, I thought I'd bring it to the show just for anybody who never actually played it. You can get this for like 99p on CD keys.
Yeah, I remember getting a copy of this to one of my lads.
Yeah.
And just curious to think, how much did I play this?
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. So I got a game score of 530 out of 1,300.
Yeah.
And it normally tells you your game time in these game hubs.
Normally, but not all games do. Some of them didn't track it, did they?
No. Yeah, so I've got 29 achievements. There you go. You're on 14 at the moment.
Yeah, I've got 185 gamer score.
Yeah.
I've played this for 18 hours.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Time played, here we go. 80 hours I played it for.
3 days, 8 hours, 44 minutes you've played it for.
Yeah, I've just got time played in hours.
What's weird is, though, your single player missions percentage is 59% and mine's 57%.
Yeah.
How's that work? Because you said you've completed it, but I was only on stage 4.
That is weird.
Definitely.
Because I've single player missions 18 out of 67. Gold kills 2,077. Single player missions 59. We got here Paris stories 9. Progress 35%. But I finished the story.
Yeah, well, I never did. So anyway, I thought I'd go back to it and have a look.
No, it's worth going back to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the one where it says where you finish the last part of it, if I can find it. Because what I find funny about the Xbox games these days is it tells you how the percentage of games that have unlocked the achievement.
Yeah.
And in some AAA games, some of the achievements I got are like sort of, I will call them rare because they're very low percentages.
Yeah. And
I don't get that.
Well, but not everybody completes games.
Well, no, but I'm about for sometimes silly little ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But, I mean, you and I, we know people who play games for like a couple of hours and then move on.
True. Yeah.
You know, and there's people like that all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get a game, you think, oh, I don't like this, and then you just trade it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I just tend to hang on to them. And then go back years later.
So I last played this. Let's have a look. Let's look at the highest achievement.
Last time you played it was 2014.
Yeah.
30th of the 12th, 2014.
That's creepy, isn't it, when you know these dates? Isn't it, when you see
I remember we played a 2-player game of this.
Yeah, because I remember opening up all the... Is this the one with all the shops, wasn't it?
No.
Didn't you have different shops? And you had Because you had
You're
the main
thinking of
house.
Assassin's Creed 2.
No. In this one, you got the mansion in Paris.
I thought you had a brothel.
No, where your main base was.
Yeah, I thought it was a brothel.
No, and there were shows there. These are like theatre shows.
I don't remember.
I'll have to put it on.
I mean, the
Might
last
do it
time I
later.
played this was the 16th of the 1st, 2015. That was the last achievement I unlocked in this game.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm not going to unlock any achievements at all for ages on this because I've got to get to sequence 4 before I'll be making any headway, really.
I got an achievement the other day. Really weird one.
Yeah?
In Destiny.
Yes, I saw that.
I think that's a progress one.
Yeah.
And how many times you visit Xur.
Right, okay.
That's what it's for. So 80G for that.
For visiting Xur?
Well, yeah, but visiting Xur, it's how many times you visit Xur, if you're with me. It's not like visiting once to get the achievement.
No, I know that, but never mind.
Yeah, 13. This is it. 13%, just short of 14% of games unlock this.
Well, I definitely won't be unlocking it.
Oh, really?
Mind you, it's 80 gamer score. I might have to just log on and just go visit Xur every week.
It's funny. I got some there that are 5%, 4%. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got another game to talk about, haven't you?
I have. My last game, which is a PSVR game, is Beat Saber. So, I mean, to be honest, this is a game that really does live up to the rhythm action title. A lot more than any other games sort of do. You play with 2 PSVR controllers, which was actually a stumbling block for me because I didn't have wires long enough that I could play while charging at the same time.
Well, didn't you print this by charging them beforehand then?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know whether or not you've noticed this, but the PSVR controllers only charge when the PlayStation is on. Did you know that?
Run that by with me again?
The PSVR controllers
Yeah.
only charge when the the PlayStation is on. So you have to have the thing on to charge them.
I assumed, like the controller, like your standard controller can be in, the machine can be in the sleep mode, but it will still charge.
I had mine on sleep mode and it didn't charge. I don't know whether or not it was because the batteries were so drained because they hadn't been used for donkey's years or whatever. But anyway, it didn't. What I have now done is I've got a dock for the PSVR controllers.
Right.
What do you call it? Amazon, $10.99. Not too bad.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah. And it's just literally just 2 ports. You just plug them straight in. I was a little bit reticent at first because I thought, actually, these are the old, weird shaped, USB 2 ports, not the, the ones that you get on most Android phones, but, the older one. I can't remember what it's called, USB A or whatever it is. And I thought, but when I looked on the thing, it said charges, PS3 and 4 Move controllers. And it's actually got 2 pins on each side of each hole that you put the controllers in, and it plugs into there because if you look at the base part of your PSVR controller, there's like little pinholes in as well.
All right.
Not your PSVR, your Move controller,
Yeah.
So anyway, there are about 10 songs on this game, but there is
Not very many, though, is there?
Not many, but there's DLC that's been developed which will add an additional 30 songs.
Now, these songs you do have, they're not licensed songs, are they?
Well, all songs are licensed songs, aren't they? But
No, what I mean by this is, are they...
You're not like listening to Rihanna or anything like that.
Or a bit of Queen,
Or a bit of
something
Queen.
like that.
Anything, nothing like that at all.
That would be so good.
Oh, it would be.
could.
Yeah. But basically, the whole idea of the game is that you have 2 Move controllers. I think you can play it with 1, but if you've got 2, then you've got a blue and a red lightsaber, effectively speaking, although, trademark Star Wars, probably it's not a lightsaber.
No. They can't say that.
But something that looks incredibly like a lightsaber that's blue and red. And basically, these boxes charge towards you, and on the boxes there's an arrowhead, and what you've got to do is strike the box in the direction of the arrowhead.
Okay.
Now, playing on easy, is pretty easy, although it still doesn't mean that you're not going to miss a beat. If you miss a sound, it makes a different noise as well, so that you know that you've done it wrong.
Yeah.
Another thing as well is that there are barriers that will come towards you, like energy shields, and you've got to step out of the way or duck. Now, the ducking does my head in, and matter of fact, so much so that I switched it off, because you have to like get right down to the ground.
Oh, that's a bit awful, odd, isn't it?
Yeah, you know,
if you're not so nimble as say some 16-year-old would be.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, literally, you've got to be like about 2 foot from the ground to duck under this, and then you've got to stand up quickly. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that I'm a 47-year-old fat dad, and that sort of movement doesn't come quickly to me. Or not as quickly as it used to do.
No.
And a matter of fact, when the first time when I actually did it properly, I ducked down so quick and so low. When I was getting up, I thought, "Ow, my leg!" I thought that's showing that I'm getting older now. Because once upon a time that would never have bothered me. But anyway, so you can in one of the modes switch those off, which I did do. And to be honest, I wasn't bothered about the barriers coming at you. I wanted the fun with the lightsaber effect. Yeah. Which was, more what I was into. Because, to be honest, once you start getting into the rhythm of the song and that, it's actually really quite good fun. It's a bit like drumming, really. Kind of effect. But these boxes come towards you, and in story mode, there's one of the modes is the campaign, so you have to go through this map of different songs, and each one will represent different sort of challenges. So it might be only miss 2 boxes, or it might be don't get hit by a barrier, or whatever it is, or score a certain amount. And if you fail to do that, that game ends. Okay, right. And there are there's about 20 or 30 levels of that. Well, I only got to about level 6, and it was getting really quite hard.
Okay.
Some of it is because of the stupid barrier issue. Because it was so low, the first couple of times I ducked, and I thought, I'm still going to hit that. And it was, just ducking lower and lower and lower until I actually found out how low you had to go. Shouldn't
that be adjusted to your height when it scans you?
Well, you would have thought, and you can adjust it, do adjustments to height, but I just think, to me, that was one of the poor things. I don't know whether or not it's in the thing somewhere that says, about adjusting your height. But I didn't like that. That's not what I signed up for in this game. I'd never seen it on any of the adverts of the game about that sort of thing. I don't mind stepping out of the way, but, the vertical movement was a little bit more pain in the backside. So, the other mode is more like just a free-form sort of mode. You can choose what song that you want, and you can configure the game. So, for example, you can make the song faster. You can give the controllers batteries, which means the boxes charge at you even faster. So it's kind of like, if you're on normal, it's like normal plus, but not quite hard. You see what I mean? So maybe hard's too hard, but normal's too easy. You can have that middle road kind of thing. And there's other things that you can do on there as well, which will, including switching off barriers. You do get mines that come at you as well, so if you hit one of those, you'll explode them. Right. And you get a score attack mode by the multiplier that,
by carrying on with,
so the more hits that you get, your multiplier goes up, so you get a better score. But if you miss something, it goes back down to 0, as does your counter as well. So that there's, a lots of different ways that it measures your sort of performance. It's quite good actually as well. You get the feedback as well if you cross the lightsabers.
Yeah.
As well. You can feel that physically happening. And to be honest, it's one of those games of when you're looking at it, you're thinking, actually that looks really quite easy. Not as easy as it looks. Definitely not as easy as it looks.
Will you keep coming back to this game? Is this one that you're going to get bored of, or
I would
how do you
say
feel about
that
it?
this is I fancy doing something a bit different. I'll stick that on. I mean, talking about it now, I think I could actually, I feel like I've got a bit of energy. I could just have a couple of goes on that because, to be honest, especially if you're doing the harder levels, you do get a sweat on doing it as well. Because, your arms are all over the place really quickly. And, you know what hard mode's like on Guitar Hero?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. So imagine that you're moving your fingers a little bit. Yeah. Imagine wafting your arms all over the place to hit, because not only can you not just go right to hit a box on your right, you've also got to get the right height on that as well. So if you move right and, it's further up, you're going to miss it. So, you end up looking like, one of those guys who control the direction of aircraft with the, ping pong bats. Is the only way that I can do it. But it's really enjoyable. I think it's one of those games that'll be a laugh at Christmas. I
mean, it looks good fun.
Yeah.
But what sort of lets it down for me is that your limited songs, DLC. I would if they got the rights to have some bands, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
if they could do that. But I don't think that's. This isn't like Guitar Hero.
No.
But yeah, it'd be nice if I'd love to do Flash by Queen or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be good. What they want is something that you can load up your own music and then it interprets it.
Yeah, that would be. But I think that would be a bit difficult to do to a certain degree.
Well, why they did it on Guitar Hero?
Oh, did they? I remember that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Guitar Hero that they did that on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a cheap price as well. Anyway, but it'd be, it'd be good fun for the family, those that can get into VR.
Yeah. My son had a go on it. I think he was enjoying it, but he wouldn't stay in the same room when it was my turn to have a go.
What about the floor space you need for this?
Just normal floor space for anything that's VR with move controllers, to be quite honest with you. Because you're not diving all over. I mean, in terms of the left and right movements, you can just lean if you want to.
Yeah.
It's just the up and down that's the main problem.
Yeah, having to duck. Yeah,
that's my main criticism, and it's just because if you've got a bad back or whatever, which let's face it, people at our age we definitely do have bad backs. It just makes it in terms of the speed that it's going harder to be able to play the game, and so you've got to switch stuff like that off, which you might not want to necessarily do.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you think you could have a load of modes where you don't have one with an arch in it, maybe. Yeah. Just the left and right with a wall. So you've got to move from one side to the other just to miss it and go through a corridor or something like that. Yeah, it's not that developed. But that'd be my only real criticism of it. That and the fact that there's no, fully licensed Queen songs or anything like that on there. But it's good fun. I think it is quite expensive for what it is. I think it probably around the £15 mark would have been a better price for it. Yeah. We'll see what happens when they get to bring out some DLC, because there is already some on the PC, isn't there, for this on Oculus? I don't know, to be quite honest. Yeah, let's believe there is, but yeah, that's cool. Okay. So I'm not sure I'm buying it yet now. I think it'd be good fun for Christmas. Yeah. Well, I've got quite a few VR games actually already. Yeah, but the Christmassy sort of games. This is one where you can all have a laugh. Yeah. Okay. Any more? Nope, that's it. Okay, so let's move on to movies, TV, and streaming.
In quest of a better life.
Okay, well, we'll start with some news. Hayden, you got one little piece here, I believe? Yes, about the Black Widow movie. Recruits the Mission Impossible 4 film's cinematographer. So, Rob Hardy has reportedly joined the crew for Marvel Studios' Black Widow movie. The film's picked up significant amount of momentum since Jack Schaefer was hired to write the script. It's an exciting addition to the Black Widow movie, especially after, obviously,
Rob Hardy's performance in Fallout, which was, good work there. The plot and the setting of the movie have yet to be revealed, but quite sure it's going to be full of plenty of action.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It'll only be the second female lead Marvel movie as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. We got that mountain to go through still, haven't we? So
yeah,
cool. Have we got any cinema releases this week, or are we getting a bit thin on the ground coming up to Christmas?
Cinema releases. I had a problem actually accessing them on the IMDb because it didn't seem to be working. Let me just have a quick. It just kept going up to a blank page. I was thinking, what on earth is going on here? Right, so 21st of December, we have Mary Poppins Returns. 24th of December, we have Bumblebee and Papillion. And then the 26th of December, we have Holmes and Watson.
Not sure about that one.
Will Ferrell as Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it as well.
When did Aquaman release? Was that last week?
Yeah, it was last week. I was going to go and see it, apart from the fact that earlier this week I had a massive splitting headache, so I had to shy off with my mate. So I think hopefully I might go and see it this week.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, evidently it's good.
I hope so, because I've got a soft spot for DC anyway, and it's had a bit of a rough ride.
Yeah. Well, they do better TV.
Well, they do that as well, I must admit.
Marvel do poorer TV, DC do better TV. Simple as. Marvel do better movies. They can't be good at both.
No.
So I'd rather them keep up the momentum and the quality of the TV. So in other words, do something about Legends of Tomorrow, and rather than them concentrating on the movies, to be quite honest. Personal point of view, but there you go.
Yeah. Okay, just jump into Blu-ray and DVD releases. Not a great deal coming out at the moment. We have got The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yeah.
On Blu-ray 4K DVD.
With Mila Kunis.
And we got Slender Man.
Yes.
Which we all know is based on a independent video game.
Well, also an internet fable as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. How true is it? Who knows?
Well, it's not.
There's quite a few documentaries on it if you look for it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a attempted murder, wasn't there, in America about the Slender Man? 2 girls tried to kill one of their other friends.
Yeah.
It's frightening when you look at stuff like that. Other than that, I think everything else seems to be pretty rubbish. But those 2 films are out on the 26th.
Yeah, Mary Poppins would be interesting to see how that plays out.
Oh God, no.
No?
No, I was never a fan of the first one, and this one I like the look of even less. And
okay.
I don't know what it is as well, but even though I quite like her in other things, I don't like the look of Emily Blunt in it either. She should just stick to Captain Marvel.
Okay, well, we'll move swiftly on then to... Do you want to do the cinema charts and I'll do the Blu-ray?
Okay, so the cinema charts for this week. At number 5, we've got Bohemian Rhapsody. At number 4, we have Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. At number 3, Creed 2. At number 2, The Grinch. And at number 1, Ralph Breaks the Internet. So that's the second week at number 1.
Well, the kids will be coming out of school soon, so they'll be watching that, haven't they?
My son's already been to see it.
There you go.
He thought it was great.
It's not... I expected maybe one huge release for Christmas for adults as such. Do you know what I mean?
Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. We're just missing something this year. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Bumblebee.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the thing is, what they should have done is that we should have released Captain Marvel now, but maybe the film producers didn't want that.
They're a weird bunch. They like their own sort of schedules, don't they? So where to get films to come out to do better than others.
I'm trying to remember what she was in now, to be honest.
Oh, I can't.
Looper.
Anyway. All right.
Looper she was in.
Yeah, that passed me to a certain degree.
And Edge of Tomorrow.
That was good.
I enjoyed that, even though it got panned.
And why was it called different to something in America? What is it about Americans and sometimes what movies are called?
Oh, it was Live, Die, Repeat, wasn't it?
Yeah. Bizarre.
I think it was... Well, I don't know.
Anyway, Blu-ray DVD charts. So, from 4 down to 5, we've got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. From 2 down to 4, Hayden's favourite movie, The Greatest Showman.
Nothing the matter with that movie.
From 1 down to 3, another one of Hayden's greatest movies.
Definitely not.
Here we go again. In at 2, number 2, Mission Impossible Fallout. And in at 1, number 1, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm sure we'll get to talk about one of those in a minute.
I'm sure we will.
So, what have I been watching this week? Not a great deal. I have been catching up on some DC stuff though. So I'm not sure which order to do it now because obviously we've got the crossover episodes coming out shortly on Sky.
Well, the first episode's played, hasn't it?
Which one was it? Was that Supergirl?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure the order they're supposed to be.
Was it Supergirl? Oh no, wasn't it Arrow? Yeah, it was Arrow.
Oh, was it? Okay, well I'll have to make sure I know which order to do it because I'm trying to watch these now in order for a bit.
Because there was a swap over.
Yeah.
With Barry and Oliver.
Yeah, that's part of the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm on about is the actual order to watch them in, because just leading up to those series of crossovers, I like to watch them in order as they're broadcast.
Mm.
Just to keep it in order, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But Arrow, I've been watching a bit more of Arrow. That's been pretty good. Supergirl, yeah, it's all right. Probably one of my least favourites of the 3, or the 4, shall I say. Flash, I haven't got to watch more of that yet because I'm actually catching up. So they're all on the same episode, if you're with me. I'm up to, I think it's episode 3 of each of them I'm trying to get to. I think I've just watched number 4 of DC Legends.
Yeah.
I know you've given up the heave-ho, but I'm persevering. And it's all right. It's not bad. I know it's a bit of a poor start to the show.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like a poor start, bad middle, and it's just getting worse.
Well, maybe I'm looking at it in a different light.
Well, just wait until you find out about Constantine.
Well, I saw his mum. That's the last one I just watched.
No.
When we because I'm going to say this actually though, this episode, because Americans don't get it right.
Yeah.
Now, this was the episode where they went back in time to 1977.
Yeah.
And I said this to the missus straight off the back, and I went, Sex Pistols and God Save the Queen. And how they portrayed this person being the Queen or whatever it was to do with,
Yeah.
And this other band called Smell or something that they were called.
Yeah.
For me, it didn't really work because when you saw them doing their band stuff and you had the people in the audience, I know they can't show some of the stuff. You can't show spitting and they should at least have some pogoing going on, but it didn't feel too real for me from what I know and what I lived of 1977.
Yeah.
It felt very much fabricated. But I suppose that's just down to producers and what they're doing with it.
Well, also, if it's not somebody who's British, who didn't live in Britain at that time, not going to really know other than, some of the imagery that they see.
Because they did start with a part of that. I'm sure, yeah, they did. I think it did, yeah. The part of the Pistols, God Save the Queen. But then when you saw them dressed as sort of punks, the Legends, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
One of the guys' hair just scruffed his hair up just to try and look a bit rough,
Was that Ray?
Yeah. Spongy was really, but
yeah.
But other than that, I just find it very humorous sometimes, that show. Anyway, there's something else I started to watch last night. Now, I think there's only 4 episodes for this season. Now, did you ever watch Fortitude?
No.
So this is a drama series where it's based in the Antarctic in a small town.
Oh, I know the series that you mean. I've never watched it, but I know the one.
Because the first season had Christopher Eccleston in it.
Yes.
So season 3 kicked off. I think it's only 4 episodes for this season. But it's more of the same. It is it's not a bad drama. It's not a bad show. I won't give it. I'm not going to say what it's about, because if you do want to watch it, go ahead. And yeah, very, very interesting start to this series. But it's got all the same characters, and it all literally rolls over from season 2's finale within about a week of what's happened in that event.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I thought I'd give it a go because something new to watch. that's on box set as such at the moment.
I might have a look at that because I remember when it was first advertised, there was, I think I might watch that, and then I must have just missed it.
Do you know what, though? I was watching that and I'm thinking, God, it's making me cold. Because, they're out there, they're you're all about the cops in this village, and they're always wrapped up to the nines. It's so bloody cold. But yeah, no. I haven't really. That's not much for me to talk about, really. But what about yourself? You've watched?
Yeah, I watched Star Trek Discovery, season 1. I've been watching that on Blu-ray. Upscales really nicely, as I'd already said. Looks really fantastic. But also really good special features on it, on the discs from what I've looked at so far as well. Not right the way through it, but yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Well worth a look. I mean, obviously, I know you can still download it on Netflix, but it won't be there forever.
I've still got it in my playlist at the moment.
Yeah. The other one is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Watch that in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Looks stunning. I mean, it's not the best movie out of the whole of the Marvel sort of franchise, but what it certainly does do is give a good self-contained sort of story.
Mm-hmm.
And it does also explain why Ant-Man wasn't around in Infinity War.
Because he was down the shops.
No, it was because he was under house arrest.
Right, okay.
Because he got...
Is that a spoiler?
No, because it's
Okay.
you find out right in the first couple of minutes of the movie. But he was under house arrest because of the events of Civil War.
Oh, okay. Right.
Where, he went to the aid of Captain America. He was captured. And as a result of that, he then was arrested. He said that he destroyed his Ant-Man suit as well. And, didn't have any links with Harry Pym either. So that's sort of where, his character was. And he was just trying to rebuild his sort of life, and then all of the events of the new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie happen.
Okay.
I think that this is even though it's self-contained though, I think that this is a particularly important movie for Endgame, because I think that this movie, in the last couple of minutes, mid and post-credit scenes, mid-credit scenes, sets up stuff for the next Avengers movie, which is Endgame.
Yeah.
So, what I don't know, but...
Do you know, it's something... Can I just talk about that quickly? It's something I was listening to a podcast the other day.
Yeah.
And they were it was basically a podcast about the trailer.
Oh, was this for Endgame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you could have an hour podcast on a trailer that's 60 seconds long or whatever?
Yeah, quite easily could do that.
Yeah. Anyway, the thing it just tweaked me. I've got to say this. One thing they mentioned about was the last 10 seconds of the trailer.
Yes.
Which is all the dust being made into 4.
Yeah.
And that's the dust of them, isn't it, do you think? And that we will see them, maybe all bar one, maybe. Well, if not all of them, come back, because that dust is the dust for them when they were blown away.
Well, to be honest, all of the ones who died were not the original Avengers anyway.
No.
Because, Captain America didn't, Iron Man didn't, Hulk didn't, Black Widow didn't. We didn't see Hawkeye, but we know that he's in a new one.
Yeah, but the idea is that dust is all the characters.
Yeah, people
coming back together again.
Other people who disintegrated in the Great Snap.
But anyway, that's me just going off into a tangent.
And none of that spoilers, because it's all mentioned in the trailer.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So
right,
yeah.
Are we done with? We're done with what you've been watching.
I am done.
Cool. Okay. We'll start with the questions then.
John, what's happening to us?
Okay, we'll start with Mark as we always do. He's got a couple of questions for us, and the first one is an interesting one actually. Have you ever been on holiday for Christmas?
No. Have you?
No, I have actually.
Right.
I went to Switzerland. Where else would you go in the snow?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Actually, tell a lie.
Barbados, that's where I would go.
Tell it off. No, it was actually it was the Swiss part of France.
Right.
Because what it was my my dad's brother, that's where he lives.
Yeah.
And we were out there before and after the festive period. I think we were out for a good couple of weeks.
And when was this?
This would have been because one day we got snowed in and we dug ourselves out and he said, well, we'll go to the cinema. And me and my brother saw 2 movies. Or was it one? No, we saw Blues Brothers. So that must have been early 80s. I
was going to say it must have been about 82 or 3, was it?
I can't remember when it came out. I don't know if it was 81. Certainly was it was very early 80s. And I bought an album out. I got an album for Christmas while I was out. That was it. And that was Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. So
Blues Brothers was 1980.
There you go. 1980. I said 1981, so close. So yeah, that was really great going out there, sort of having a French Christmas.
Mm.
But yeah, interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people don't, it's all about families, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But all my family all went out there, so it was all right.
No, I've never been away. The most I've done is eat out on Christmas Day and had Christmas lunch. It was must be about 3 years ago. It was the year. It was 2 Christmases before I lost my dad, and we all went out for a meal at Allerton Court Hotel in North Allerton, which was really incredibly nice, but quite expensive. It was about £50 a pop.
Mm.
But really nice meal. Really enjoyed it. Only time we've ever been out for a meal.
Yeah,
Christmas. I mean, on Christmas
we've always
Day.
said one day we'd do it, but we never have done.
I'll tell you what. It takes out all of the hassle and all of the arguments of the day.
But you know what? I enjoy doing the cooking. I like cooking my turkey and all that.
Fair enough.
I've got to make the Christmas gravy now before the week's out.
Yeah.
And put that in the freezer. But then I'll say I'm picking my turkey up Sunday from Sainsbury's, Sunday next week.
Yeah.
So will be go in the fridge for a day. It'll come out again, cool down, prepare that. Well, I normally prepare that Christmas morning before everyone else is up, and it's in the oven while we're having breakfast. So, not a problem.
I'm not really into cooking.
No. I have to ask the missus that question.
I do remember once many years ago where we went to my mum and dad's. So last time we actually had Christmas meal at Christmas Day lunch at my mum and dad's. And my dad had just got a new oven. And bearing in mind, my dad was quite a good cook, but he ended up grilling the turkey because he didn't know how to work this new oven. So we had this grilled turkey instead.
So what he did was he turned the grill bit on, not the oven part on. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's easily done, though.
It is easily done. And to be honest, I mean, looking at it, I still don't know how to work his blooming oven because it is really silly complicated. It has, instead of having like a knob for turning, the temperature in the oven, there's all these different modes that the oven can go on with. So you've got to turn that on first and then turn this thing. And it doesn't tell you, not easily described what the modes are either. So, to be fair, it wasn't because he was going doolally or anything. It was just because he just didn't know how to use it. But yeah, he grilled the turkey. So, after that, we said...
Anyway, do you want to do question 2? Yeah.
Yeah, do you make resolutions or is that just bunkum?
Not really. We all try to improve ourselves and live a bit healthier.
Yeah.
I haven't done too bad in the last year. Maybe put a little bit back on, but hey-ho. We're not robots, are we?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I made a New Year's resolution that I wasn't going to make a New Year's resolution, but I broke it immediately.
Only you would come up with an answer like that.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, right. So, Paul Wilson on Facebook.
Okay.
Which movie and game was your biggest letdown of the year? And I can't even think about this shit myself, but have you got an answer to this question?
Okay. Now, bearing in mind that the movie, I am going to say, I had very, very low expectations of, and it managed to spectacularly disappoint me, and it's not my genre, but even my wife was disappointed by it, which was Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. That movie was tripe, really bad, I thought. It was, considering the first movie was so happy, and, you know, you could sing along to it. This one, seriously, I felt like slashing my wrists halfway through. And that was just because of the story. It wasn't because I was bored. You know, it was because, oh my God, this is so depressing. Like I said, when people gone to see that, when it was out, I wouldn't have been surprised if Samaritan's Calls went through the roof as soon as the cinemas kicked people out.
Yeah.
Biggest letdown of a game.
Have to wait for the Game of the Years for that, haven't you?
No, we're not doing the worst games. We're not doing Raspberries. Maybe we should do that midway through the year or in a January show or something like that. The Raspberries of the year. I'm trying to really think, what is my biggest... Do you know, I can't really, not off the top of my head, think of a particular game.
I mean, you think someone might have thought I'd have said Fallout, but I knew what I was letting myself in for with Fallout, so I wouldn't say that's a letdown.
Yeah. See, last year I could have said Cuphead, but that was this year. That was last year, wasn't it? Not this year.
Yeah. The same as Ori and the Blind Forest.
I never played that.
That was a tough cookie to crack.
Yeah, but there's a difference between it being enjoyable and tough, and just tough for no reason. It doesn't give you any enjoyment, and that was what it was with Cuphead. But I can't think right off the top of my head what any of that might have been this year. Nothing's coming to mind. What about you?
No, I really can't think of a game at the moment. I mean, the games I've purchased, I'm pretty much happy with.
Right.
I do have a film, though.
Go on, Ed.
I'm going to say The Predator.
Yeah, I can imagine that, to be fair.
Eve, I was probably on the fence of saying this isn't going to work anyway, but it sucked big time. And so it sucked that much. I've listened to all reviews and I've not even seen it because I know how bad it is.
Yeah.
I will probably watch it when it comes up on Sky Movies. I'll probably watch it anyway, just to have a look at it. But yeah,
actually, you know what? I think I'm going to be a bit controversial. As in,
you're going to say Solo?
No, for game.
Oh, go on.
But you're going to say, well, I'm not surprised either.
You're going to say Fallout. Now I've said it, now, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay, what are you going to say then?
Red Dead, and not because of, you know, technically it's a fantastic looking game. Looks absolutely brilliant and that, but it's just full of cowboy cliches. And the story didn't really drove me on that much, and it's just a bit slow. So I would say that would be my game that was my biggest letdown, because maybe it's one of those things of Red Dead couldn't live up to what people were billing it as, a bit like a Star Wars movie. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, if we're actually to talk about movies, it's actually the biggest letdown, which was technically, it was released at, the end of, December last year. So, but it was still on release in January this year. It would have to be The Force Awakens, because that, let's face it, there's millions of fans out there who were really disgruntled by that. But to me, I think, even the Red Dead game did suffer a little bit of what's not The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. It did suffer a bit of what The Last Jedi suffered from, which is people building it up to be something and then it ended up being nothing like. But I don't know, it was, the game looks beautiful and everything, but it's just a little bit too, I don't know, it didn't have that je ne sais quoi. And I think, considering how quickly it's fallen out of the collective consciousness of a lot of gamers, tends to show that as well, because when GTA 5 was about, you were still getting people now, because how long's it been out now, Red Dead?
Over a month.
Yeah, but it's only about 6 weeks or so, isn't it? It's not like...
Well, yeah, I said over a month, so yeah.
Yeah, but, it's not like 6 months ago or whatever, is it? It's a relatively new release. I'm just trying to find it in my list of achievements so that I can see, because I bought it, I had it pretty much straight away anyway, so... I think I had it on the day anyway, not pretty much straight away. So, Red Dead.
It's November,
Yeah, it was
wasn't it?
beginning of November. Was it about the 2nd or something like that? So, when you actually, when you look at that, it's, 6 weeks since it was launched, and people have stopped talking about it. And it ain't because people have finished it.
Yeah.
GTA, people were talking about it 6 months later.
Yeah, but these, I think, I say the online bit isn't out properly yet. So the game isn't dead.
I'm not saying that the game is dead. What I'm saying is a single player story mode. I think that, people were looking forward to it, and I don't think it's delivered on what was hoped for. And that's what I mean by it being a gaming letdown.
Yeah. Okay, you're right to your opinion.
I am, because it's my opinion.
Anyway, let's see what Tom Warren's going to talk about. Cause I'll let you can read this one out.
Okay, so do you think Bungie actually knows what us fans want in DLC? No. Anymore, they seem to have got a huge high with the Forsaken DLC, but now it looks like they're going back to the small, less impressive DLC for an overpriced costs. What's your thoughts on it? So, Steve, as our resident...
You used to be.
Destiny-obsessed person, what's your views? And then I'll say mine.
Well, when we had the DLC where we had story content, a light level jump, people were caning that in about a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all over. And Bungie asked the fans about that, saying, well, I don't think that was right. So they've gone down a different route, where they're giving you end game material with more loot, armour, and even for your character, giving them different, an extra ability, stuff like that. And this stuff's going to be drip fed through this season. Which goes through, I think it's up to February or March, is it? Or it might be February, I can't remember now. With different stuff. The Black Armour obviously was the talking point. A little bit tough to start with, even I couldn't do it. They did drop down the light level a bit to help people out. I obviously took me a little bit longer to do it, but that's fine. It's end game stuff. But with all the different things that you can find in the game to do, there's extra quests that are drip fed out, some exotic ones, there's some other little bits and pieces. I quite like the idea of it because you're getting new stuff to do each week, and you're not just grinding for the sheer sake of it like you would be after doing a big batch of DLC and some story missions. Overpriced? I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. What about yourself?
Personally, I think that they've gone down a path I don't like. With all of this forcing you to do certain type of events. I had no interest in Gambit, didn't want to play it, but we're trying to make you play it, which is one of the things that turned me off the game. I might like Gambit if I played it, but I don't want to be felt like I'm being pushed.
Well, you're not forced to play Gambit.
No, but if you want to get, better stuff, then you have to go and play it. Just like you have, they force you, they don't force you, but they make it extremely limited in terms of your progression if you don't do things like Crucible and all of the other stuff that they add in. They don't give you an alternative.
Well, what they did do, the alternative way was to give you a way and a route to get to the end game level, where sometimes you'd have to do the raid, but not everybody does that. But with stuff like Gambit, you can get great weapons because it's not real multiplayer. You're working with friends against ads that aren't other enemies, aren't human beings. So I disagree there, personally.
Well, you're entitled.
I think they've done a great job with that mode. People have been gutted they took out Trials of Osiris, for example.
Yeah,
but putting in this mode, I think it's brilliant.
I don't understand why they've taken out Trials of Osiris for this. Why didn't you just put both?
Well, no, they took it out for whatever reason. It's not like it's replacing it. That wasn't their idea. It's the same as they took out another mode, which was with the factions, didn't they? That's not been back.
Yeah, but Trials of Osiris was a bit bigger than the factions.
Yeah, but to be honest, we never played Trials very much because you had to get a team together to do it.
Yeah.
But where Gambit works, you can be a solo player doing end-game stuff.
All right, here's an example then for you. It's about something else.
Mm.
Hawthorne, when you visit her, she gives you the bounties for your clan, okay?
Yeah.
When I was playing it, I would pretty much max out my bounties for the clan within a few hours for that week, yeah? So I was always contributing towards the clan. Mm-hmm. Then Hawthorne, it all changed, and about 3 out of the 5 that are bounties that you get each week, or each day, whatever, can't remember how often that they're actually recycled, are Crucible. And then another 1 or 2 will be Gambit. That's forcing you down those paths.
No, well, that's not Gambit. That character was doing a lot of... Hawthorne's character was giving you Crucible-style bounties. There were some of them were for the clan and what have you. Obviously, Zavala was doing missions for bounties.
But this is what I mean. So
all the different characters were giving you bounties that you could easily do. And so if you weren't keen on Crucible, you don't have to go to do those ones. If you want to do historic missions...
but if you wanted your clan weapon that she'll give you for, the clan getting to the top in that period.
But we did that, to be honest. Not that... there's a lot of people not playing Destiny anymore within the clan. So that isn't coming up to fruition all the time now.
Yeah, but also you're not getting the clan points because you're not being able to do Hawthorne's stuff if you don't play certain modes. And this is what I don't like. Before, I used to never have to go anywhere near the Crucible in order to be able to max out my 5,000 clan points for whatever period.
But you can do that by doing events.
You have to do an awful lot of them now.
Yeah, but I was doing it all the time. It wasn't too much of a grind. But bringing back bounties has helped that a lot anyway, because you've got all these different NPCs you can go and get bounties from to progress for what you need. Obviously, with the dailies and the weeklies for prime engrams as well, they're easy and achievable.
Well, before I basically gave up on the game, up until a point, I was getting 5,000. That for that week, all the time, consistently. Then they changed stuff, and then even though I was playing exactly the same game modes, doing the same things, but also getting the bounties, I might have been getting 1,000, 1,300. So they've changed the fundamental aspects of that part of the game, and it's certainly not in my favour. It's trying to force me down to do other styles of gameplay I don't want to do. And that's in order to be able to get the benefit of what I had before. And that's what I don't like. And that's one of the reasons why I came away from the game. That, and also what I feel that they've done in this season pass now is they've charged us for what we thought was going to be story content and other add-ons. And they haven't delivered on that. Because I don't think that the latest one to drop actually has any story content to it, really.
It's more backstory. It's not physical.
Yeah, exactly. Story. So it's not progressing.
But people were moaning that that's all they were getting. So Bungie have tried the alternative.
It was not what we were getting though. We were getting these horrible little, events like, the stuff that they do over Halloween and the Dawning event and all of that. And they haven't changed that. They're just swapping it around a bit. And I bought a season pass because I want story content, and that's not what's being delivered.
You should let them know.
I will do.
No, I'm serious.
So am I.
Because Bungie have really tried. I think I give Bungie a lot of credit for getting a lot of shit in that game, which they rightly deserved at the time, and they've turned that game around now so much.
Yeah.
I think, personally, and so do a lot of other people from my, that are really into Destiny.
Yeah, but I think the number of fans of Destiny have actually spoken with the feet, like myself, and don't play it at the moment. Which you got to admit, the numbers have gone down. I
don't know, actually. I don't know what the physical numbers are. Because there's obviously a big community still playing the game.
Yeah, but there's millions of people playing it, so you're always going to still remain with a large community.
Within my friends list, I've got probably 5 or 6 that play it all the time. Maybe a few more. There's a few on PlayStation as well.
Yeah, so have I.
But it's going to be horses for courses. It's not your thing anymore, which is a real shame. But there you go.
Well, no, I still do like playing like Destiny. I just don't like some of the stuff that they're doing at the moment with it.
Well, they've gone down I think it's like a World of Warcraft route, is it? We call it that.
Yeah.
I've not really played World of Warcraft, but that's the same sort of idea. But what they're doing is we used to have that long gap where all you were doing was grinding because you had nothing else to do. There was a few free events, but there was nothing else. With this seasonal content you can purchase now, that drip feeds through the whole season, so there's always something to do. The Forge is about 4 different forges coming out and places you can go to do that.
Yeah.
When you unlock them, and with all the mystery quests and secret places you're going to be going to unlock different weapons. You know, I think it's cool.
Well, I mean, but you're a big Destiny fan, though.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not, and I've told you the reasons why I'm not.
Mm.
You know, that's just personal opinion, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
shall we move on?
Yeah, because I'm going to be really narky in a minute, but I'm not going to be. I'm going to be really polite.
Well, no, I mean, we can have a difference of opinion.
Oh, we can. No, of course we can.
You know, there are games that I like that you don't like, and you know, we have different tastes. We have similar tastes. You know, it all depends.
Mm.
So
anyway, Nikki.
Yes. So.
Oh, it's me.
It's you,
isn't it? What's your favourite Christmas level in games? Mine's Christmas time in Shamu. Can you think of a Christmas level in a game?
Yes, I can. There is Batman Arkham Origins has a level where setting us on Christmas Eve. I think it was what was it called? I'm trying to remember which it was, but I know that there was a Christmas level in that. There was the Saints with Saints Row 4. I think I'm thinking Saints Row 4.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Saints saved Christmas, which was quite good, if I remember rightly. There was also, trying to remember, the Hitman as well. There was a special level on Hitman Blood Money for that, which was quite good. I think that you had to kill Santa Claus or something or other like that on Hitman. But yeah, it was Saints Row 4 that was how the Saints saved Christmas. So yeah, so all of those ones I like quite, you know.
Yeah.
But there's been loads of other games that have had it. Like I think there was Halloween Town on Kingdom's Hearts 2.
Never played that.
No. And I think there was one on Banjo-Kazooie, if I remember rightly.
Borderlands 2 had one as well, didn't it?
Yeah. So there's a few different ones out there, but you know. And World of Warcraft as well. They had one.
I suppose. Actually, I think of one. Yeah,
the Dawn.
Dead Rising 4. It was all Christmassy, wasn't it?
But that was a Christmas game rather than game set at Christmas rather than a Christmas level, wasn't it?
I'm trying to think.
Well, what about the Dawning?
Well, it's not really Christmas, though, is it? It's just an event.
Yeah, but it's an event because it's Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not like a level like. It's dedicated. Anyway, we got a bit of snow and that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, whatever. I'm going to say Dead Rising 4 because that was set at Christmas. It's like Die Hard's a Christmas movie because it was set at Christmas.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I know it is.
Everybody knows that.
And so's Gremlins. It's on its second playthrough on my room at the minute. I've let it roll.
Oh my god. Right.
Anyway.
That's it for questions, yeah.
Is that it? Are we done? Oh, good. Okay. So, contact details. Myself, Twitter @Steve007. PSN ID, The Real Steve007. Xbox Steve007. And Steve007 popculturegamers.co.uk. So
mine, just search for HERJ on basically anything, you know, from YouTube to, well, Xbox, PlayStation.
I nearly said something in a way, so I carry on.
On what? I'm intrigued.
No, just carry on, go on.
Okay. Oh, I think I might have twigged on what you were going to say then. You dirty man.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so Steam, all of that, I'm known as HERJ UK. I'm not on the system that Steve was referring to.
Well, it would be steamy, wouldn't it?
Also, don't forget we have our Facebook group. So just look for Pop Culture Gamers on Facebook. If you want to send in your Christmas message, either typed and we'll read it out, or an MP3, which you can just record on your phone or whatever and just send it to us. Send it to podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. Don't forget we have a Twitter feed for the show as well, Pop Culture Gamer at Twitter. And also there's our website, popculturegamers.podbean.com.
And as they say, is that.
It is indeed.
So
shall we have a Christmas-themed joke for the end of the show?
Really?
Yes, really. So
Go on
one
then.
day...
Pull your cracker out.
Go on then, because we're going to have a few of these in next week's show. One night, a Viking named Rudolph the Red was looking out of his window and he said, "It's going to rain." His wife looked at him and said, "How do you know?" "Because Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer."
I think we'll leave it there.
We will.
Anyway, it's a good night from me.
And I say good night from him too.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.